Hello and welcome to the Easter Monday edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a beautiful spring day here in the UK. Well, in Surrey. I mean, I know actually, I think up north it's meant to be a bit grimmer because there's been a storm. But here it is lovely, and I haven't heard from Maverick yet today. So hopefully we will get a calm solve, unencumbered by either wasps or planes. We shall see. What are we going to be having a look at on this Easter Monday? We're going to be having a go at Ringing the Changes by Fool on Hill. And this is part of a series of puzzles Fool on Hill has been doing. I've done 2 of them. I think there may have been 3 or 4. But they've all featured sort of ideas based around, frankly, the Phistomefel Ring. It looks like that's what's going on today, because you sort of learn things ab initio about the corner 2x2s in all of these puzzles, but Fool on Hill has found interesting ways to create logic out of that. So if you've not seen the Phistomefel Ring, it's this theorem in Sudoku that tells you that those 2x2s in the 4 corners of any Sudoku puzzle are the identical digits. Which colour should we have? The identical digits to those red digits that surround the central 3x3 box. That is true for any Sudoku puzzle. And I've no doubt I will have to explain why that is the case and prove that to you in order to logically solve this new puzzle from Fool on Hill. This one's got 3 out of 5 on the difficulty scale. Now, you'll remember, if you watched yesterday's video, that was mooted as possibly being 3 out of 5 and took me nearly 2 hours. So I'm really, really hoping I don't get... I mean, I loved the puzzle yesterday. The only thing I disagreed with was the difficulty. I'm hoping that this one has been rated correctly, but we won't know until we try it, and that's what we'll do in a moment or two's time. But before we do that, what else can I tell you about? There's a few things going on. Firstly, this evening at 10 p.m. UK time, Mark and I are back in the Blueprints mansion again for something like the 39th time. We'd love to have your company if you're free. We have been... I think, well, I've loved it throughout. I think Mark even is starting to really love these weekly jaunts to the mansion. We have made some progress the last few weeks, so I really hope that continues. I'm probably putting the kibosh on it by even mentioning it. But anyway, we'd love to have your company. I'll try and remember to put a link to the video on the screen. What else can I mention? I will mention... I've got birthdays to do today. I've got birthdays aplenty. Let's talk about what is going on over on Patreon, where we have a brand new competition that started on the 1st of April, and it is proving very popular indeed. Sandra and Nala's Bug Friends. Most of these puzzles are Fog of War Sudokus, and I'm sure if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you'll be very familiar with Sandra and Nala's amazing fog puzzles. There's a Nurikabi in there and a Hayawaki as well. But let's have a look at where we are in terms of solves. So we'd had 264 solves of all 8 puzzles a couple of days ago, and we'd had 1,294 of the first 656 solves of the whole thing. That is phenomenal. 1,700 solves of puzzle number 1. Well, I mean, I am a bit surprised, but I'm not very surprised because the puzzles are very doable and they're very enjoyable. So do get involved. The closing date's the 20th. Have yourself some Sandra and Nala fun. Now, what else? Oh, I'll mention this more on Wednesday. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing Marty's Rat Run puzzle on Wednesday, unless life gets in the way of me. A lot of you have really been liking this line of merchandise that Marty's made. I mean, it's just beautiful, some of this stuff. So I really commend it to you. Check it out. These mouse mats, they are so cool, aren't they? Anyway, that's something that's I'll also try and remember to put a link on the screen too. But let me get my list of birthdays. Start off by saying, Alma, I think it's your birthday, or I hope I haven't missed it. I might have missed it by a day or so. I had to pre-record yesterday's video due to being on my travels for Easter. But your friend, is it Toma? Toma, it looks like Toma, wrote to me and told me, I think the two of you worked together and you found out serendipitously that you both watch Cracking the Cryptic, and since then you've actually started solving some puzzles together. I love that. And he wants you to know that he is not judging when he solves, because apparently Alma finds Toma occasionally a little bit judging. I'm not sure if that's of me or of her, but anyway, I love the fact that you're both solving together. Alma, I hope you have a brilliant birthday. Or the remnants of my cough still catching me out occasionally, and I hope there's some chocolate cake that's heavily iced in store. Oh, now the next is just wonderful. Just wonderful. October, living in California. Applied to Stanford. And if you've been on social media recently, there have been all these videos where people open their applications to these amazing American universities in the Ivy League, and you sort of get people's reactions live. But anyway, as part of applying to Stanford, October wrote a supplemental essay on why they enjoyed Cracking the Cryptic so much. And October got in. Isn't that fantastic? Very, very well done. One of the great universities, and you got in, and a tiny, 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 tiny scintilla of a bit due to the fact that Cracking the Cryptic was sort of very tangentially involved. So I'm delighted for you. Well done. And wow, what a university to go to. I'm a little bit jealous. I quite like to go back to university myself. Anyway, that's not a birthday, but it's still well worth mentioning. Erin, your brother, Kevin, wrote to me telling me that you're doing a PhD in economics in New Jersey. I think he's in California, but he wanted to wish you many happy returns. So, Erin, I hope you have a great birthday today, and good luck with the PhD. Gosh, I did a degree in economics, but not a PhD. Oh, now the next is not a birthday, but it's a message I'm supposed to read out. Oh my goodness, that's not. I mean, that sounds like Maverick on the ground having a race with somebody. Jeepers. Okay, we have a message from Dr. Cantiza Tessina for the team managers in Bolt League. The secret is a valid console command. I have no idea what that means. I mean, I do know. I can tell you what the secret is, if that's of any use. If you don't know what the secret is, and that's important, I'll whisper it to you. I tell it to my very favourite people. But the secret of Sudoku is 45. I mean, actually, maybe that would have come up in today's puzzle. Don't know, actually. I suspect this is just a logic puzzle rather than a arithmetic puzzle, but I could be wrong. So it's probably good I told you. Yeah. Okay. So that's a strange message. Next message is to Brandon and Zelda, who are getting married today and have been watching the channel for a few years. I know that because I think I've read out one of your birthdays before, but two of you are getting married today. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic wedding day. And I've no doubt there will be cake. I hope it's chocolate cake. Do people have chocolate cake at weddings? Maybe they don't. But whatever. I hope the wedding cake is up to snuff and you have an absolutely fantastic wedding and honeymoon. Next, we shall go to Ontario in Canada. We're going all over the place today. Where Tom, you've turned 28 today. I know this because your girlfriend, your fiance. This is what I should be saying, of course, because the two of you have just got engaged and have been watching since the first Miracle Sudoku. That's a few years ago now, isn't it? Goodness me. Tom, I know you proposed to Hayley in the February snow while on a snowshoeing expedition. And you're having peanut butter chocolate chip cookies today. Fantastic. Tom, many happy returns on turning the triangular number for 7, I think. And then finally, I'm late with this one. But Carter, Erin, your girlfriend Erin wrote to me and told me you were turning 29. I got that email via Instagram, which is never it's never the best way. If you want a birthday announcement, I do pick up Instagram messages, but only periodically. It's something to do with the way that it interacts with Facebook and Meta. I don't really understand it. But anyway, I did get the message belatedly. And Carter, I'm sorry with your late birthday wishes, but I hope it's better late than never. And that's all the news. Shall we have a go and do some solving? Let's have a look at Ringing the Changes by Fool on Hill. The rules of this one are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Adjacent digits on a green German whisper line differ by at least 5. So if this was a 1, this would be at least a 6. It could be 6, 7, 8, or 9 to be sufficiently different from the digit 1. The digits on a pink Renban line form a consecutive set with no repeats. The central cross is a single line. Okay. So this line here, that's got 9 cells, hasn't it? So that is a single line. So actually, because it contains a consecutive set with no repeats, that's effectively an extra region of the Sudoku. But these ones, let's say that digit was a 4. This could be, well, let's say it could be 4, 5, 6. There's lots of other things it could be, though. It could be 2, 4, 2, 3. That would work as well. Just have to make sure consecutive without repeats. Now, what's the next rule? If 2 digits are separated by a black dot, one is double the other. So if that was a 2, this could be 4 because 4 is double 2, or it could be 1 because 2 is double 1. One of those things must be true on a black dot. 2 digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. So if this was a 2, this would either be a 1 or a 3 to be consecutive with 2. Not all dots are given. So what that's saying is if this was a 2 and 3, that's absolutely fine. Just because there is no white dot, but there could have been, it doesn't matter. We don't know anything about that domino, but it could be a consecutive pair or a pair where one digit is double the other. We just know very positive things about these dominoes, that domino, that domino, that domino, that domino, that domino, and that domino. Nori nori. And then there's some stuff at the bottom about this being part of a series. So, not part of the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I mean, I think what I've got to do here is just prove Phistomefel, because I'm desperate to use it because German whispers lines, but there are quite a few things we can say immediately about this ring, just because we know every digit on the ring has to be a capable digit of fitting on a German whispers line. So I will give the proof I gave on Brady Harron's wonderful channel Numberphile a couple of years ago, by saying that let's highlight some cells. We'll highlight these cells in indigo. Now, I've highlighted 36 cells there in the grid. And the crucial thing to recognize is that we can describe absolutely precisely the contents of these indigo cells, because I highlighted the whole of row 3, the whole of row 7, the whole of box 4, and the whole of box 6. Now, each row of Sudoku and each box of a Sudoku contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. That's what the rules of Sudoku tell us. So these indigo digits overall are going to have 4-digit 1s, 4-digit 2s, 4-digit 3s, all the way through up to 4-digit 9s. That is the composition of the digits in the indigo region. Now, I'm going to highlight some different cells now. I'm also going to highlight 36 cells. Should we use orange or yellow? Maybe yellow, actually. Right, so I've highlighted some cells in yellow. Now, here, I've highlighted the whole of column 1, the whole of column 2, the whole of column 8, and the whole of column 9. So again, I've highlighted 4 complete columns of the Sudoku, and we know that every column individually contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. So we know these 4 columns contain 4-digit 1s, 4-digit 2s, 4-digit 3s, all the way through to 4-digit 9s. In other words, the yellow collection of digits is identical to the indigo collection of digits. They are the same digits. when we take the whole of the yellow set together versus the whole of the indigo set together. Now here's the thing you have to get your head around to understand the proof. Let's look at this cell. Now we have no idea what's in that cell, but we know it was in both sets. We know it was in the yellow set and the indigo set. So if I remove it, just that cell, from the indigo set and the yellow set, what can we say about what is left in indigo and what is left in yellow? Now we can no longer say anything about exactly what the composition of the two sets is, because no one has any idea what this digit is. It doesn't matter what this digit is. The point is that this cell was in both sets when the sets had the same composition. So if you take the same thing, if the sets are the same, they have the same composition, and you take a cell out of both, then what is left in yellow and what is left in indigo must still be the same set of digits. We just can't describe that set of digits because one digit is missing whatever was in this cell. And we can do that for all the cells that are in both sets. And what is left in indigo must be the same as what is left in yellow. And that is the proof of the Phistomefel ring. Now, how do we use that? Now, in the other puzzles in this series, Fool on Hill has done something with sort of 9-cell regions, so I'm quite interested in the fact that this Renban contains no repeated digits. Okay, so let's think about what that means. It's going to do something to these little triangle thingies, because right, okay, so forget about, do I want you to forget about the Phistomefel ring? Maybe not. Let's look at these digits on the Phistomefel ring. Now each of those digits is on this central cross of Renban, isn't it? So we can ask where these 4 digits go in box 5, because each of these digits cannot repeat on the central quincunx here, this pattern, because this digit, whatever it is, must never appear again on its own Renban. So this digit is one of these 4 cells, but that's the same logic for all of these corner cells. So in fact, what I think we might need to do to understand the puzzle is to remove these cells from the Phistomefel ring, because we know that they are the same in the central. These 4 corner cells are the exact same digits as these 4 cells in the central box, because they couldn't repeat on their Renban. Now, what does that mean? It's something to do with 5s, isn't it? Yeah, okay, I don't know what it is, but I think I do want to talk a bit about the yellow cells now, because every single yellow cell in this grid is on a German whispers line, and we do know some things about German whispers. Firstly, you simply cannot put a 5 in any yellow cell, because if you do, what's the adjacent digit to the 5 going to be on the line? It needs to be a digit that's at least 5 different from 5. So if we go downwards, we get to 0 and negative numbers, and if we go upwards, we get to 10 and higher. They aren't Sudoku digits, so you can't put 5 anywhere on a whispers line. Now what that means is that every digit you do put on a whispers line has the quality of either being below 5 or being above 5. And the crucial thing to realise often is that if you do have, say, a below 5 digit, can the adjacent digit to a below 5 digit on a whispers line also be below 5? And the answer is no, because these two can't be 5 apart. They could be 4 and 1 and maximally apart, and that was only 3 apart. So what you have to do, if this is low, this would have to be higher than 5. Then this couldn't also be higher than 5 because these can't be far enough apart, so this would be lower than 5 again. So you get this oscillation of polarity around these lines. Now what that means is that the composition of the indigo cells is going to have in it 8 digits that are lower than 5 and 8 digits that are higher than 5. How do we know that? Well, we know that each of these, we don't know. I can't tell you whether this digit is lower than 5 or higher than 5, but I know whatever it is, these two will then be the opposite polarity, and that one will be the same polarity. So each of these 2x2 yellow thingies, thingy's an accurate term. Each of the 2x2 yellow thingies comprises 2 high digits and 2 low digits. So overall, they comprise 8 high digits and 8 low digits. Now, we can actually do even better than that, though, because these German whispers lines are not, well, they are lines, but they are also rings, aren't they? Now, what does that mean? Well, we said there was an immense problem putting a 5 on a whispers line, but there's quite a big problem putting a 4 on one. Because if you put a 4 on a whispers line, you need to find a digit that's at least 5 different from 4 for the adjacent cell. Now, there is a digit that qualifies for that, but it's 9. But there's only one. And now this is a ring, so if you do put 4 in any of the 4 positions, you're going to have to surround it by 2 9s, aren't you? And that isn't going to work. And the same is going to be true with 6. If you put 6 on one of these lines, it would have to be surrounded by double 1. So actually, yeah, these Renbans are all extreme, is what we've just discovered. Because what this means is that the yellow digits are all selected, not that, well, the digits that can go in the green cells are 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. Now, how are we going to construct 3-cell Renbans then? These, don't forget, these are consecutive digits that can't use 4, 5, and 6. So they are going to be 1, 2, and 3, or 7, 8, and 9, aren't they? And that's lovely, because let's look at this. That's either 7, 8, 9, or it's 1, 2, 3, and yet these digits are supposed to be in a doubling relationship. So this has to be a 1, 2 pair. That's the only way you can do that. This is a 3, and we've actually started the puzzle. Now, this one, if this was a 1, 2, 3 consecutive set, these digits would both have to be 3. So this is a 7, 8. Oh, whoopsie! This is a 7, 8, 9. This one, maybe I don't know what that one is. It's either 7, 8, 9 or 1, 2, 3. As indeed are all of the cells in this sort of weird pattern that we've got, because we know these are the identical digits to what are going on in the corners. So whatever this is, this one, it's either 7, 8, 9 or 1, 2, 3. So let's just imagine it's 1, 2, 3 for a moment. That's going to mean that these 2 triangles have consumed 6 of the 8 low digits in the puzzle. So the remaining cells, which are these, would have 2 low digits and 5 digits that were from 7, 8, 9. Bobbins. Okay, so that's... I don't know what that means. Sorry, it probably means something, but I don't know what it is. It does mean... Okay, here's another thought then. 3s and 7s are still going to be a little bit difficult to put on the greens. Because, let's say this was a 3. What do you have to surround 3 with? It's going to have to be an 8-9 pair, because we need 2 digits that are at least 5 different, and there are only 2 in Sudoku. Similarly, if this was 7, you're going to get a 1-2 pair. Now, we know already that we have got at least 1 3 and at least 1 7. And we know we're going to have another 3 or 7 depending on what this is. Does that matter? So say that's 3, 8, 9. Let's say this has got a 3 on it. Well, it might restrict it briefly. Like if this had 3, 8, and 9 on it, then this couldn't also have 3, 8, and 9 on it, because you couldn't put 8 and 9 in column 7. But I think if that was 3, 8, 9 and that was 3, 8, 9, you probably don't have any sort of problem. No, it's going to be something. I want to say it's going to be something to do with the fact that we know that there are 8 of each size of 8 highs and 8 lows to be placed. No, I don't know actually. Hang on. I need to come up with something here. No. Oh, I was just thinking that these, the sort of cells in box 5 that are not on the quincunx being these cells, the sort of dice shape. These cells, we know, are the points. These have to appear on the Renban, the 9-cell Renban. So these are going to be in those cells. Maybe some. If that one went there, that would be a 7, 8, 9 triple. Oh bother! I don't know actually. I'm not quite. No, I'm not seeing this. Okay, let's try something different then. These two cells are of the same polarity in box 1. What do I mean by that? I mean, well, imagine this was a high digit, a higher than 5 digit. It's not going to be, but imagine it was. Then this would be 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this won't work, because if we were in this situation, we need a digit that's higher than 5 that is black dottable, and there are only 2, and those are the digits 6 and 8. You simply can't put 7 and 9 on a black dot, because you then need a digit that's either half 7 or 9, well they're not integers, or double 7 or 9, well they aren't Sudoku numbers. So if you were in this world, one of these digits would be a 6, but we've already said you can't put 6 on one of these rings because it would have to be surrounded by double 1. So I think what we can say is that those are low, and they can't include 4, so these are high. And now these two digits are... well, what are they? Well, I don't know. But one thing I can see is that one of these is a 3. Because if this was a 1-2 pair on the ring, whichever one of these was a 1, across its black dot it would have to have a 2, because that's the only digit it can be in a doubling relationship with. So if these were a 1-2 pair, there would be too many 1s and 2s in the box, because you'd have a 1-2 pair here, and then whichever one of these would have a 2 opposite it. Whichever one of these was a 1 would have a 2 opposite it. So one of those is a 3, which means one of those is a 6. And then so the one that is not a 3, and the thing is, if it's 2, Well, if it's 1, it has to go opposite 2. But if it's 2, it could go opposite 1 or 4. That's so annoying. 1, 2, 4 or 6. That's not very clever, is it? Oh, bobbins. I don't know then. Ah, all right. Hang on. If one of these is a 3, I don't know which one it is, but 3 we've learned on the green rings is always next to 8 and 9, so neither of those is a 7. That could be useful. So 5 and 7 now are in those 3 cells, but we can't put... No, I can't put 5 here. I can't put in the tips of this, remember, these digits on the tips of the Renban were on the original Phistomefel ring, so they have to be capable of going on one of the green rings. So these cells can't be 4, 5 or 6 ever. So 5 is in one of 2 places in box 1. Actually, hang on, maybe I'm not thinking clearly about this, because maybe what you're meant to do is not focus so much on the digits that can go on the ring, but maybe it's 4s, 5s and 6s actually. Because, why do I say that? Well, let's just do some highlighting. Those cells... Oh, what colour should we make those? Let's make those green, dark green. Those cells in the corner boxes have to include the digits 4, 5 and 6, because in these corner boxes you can't put 4 and 5 and 6 on the tips of this Renban for the reasons we've just explained, and you can't put 4, 5 or 6 ever on the green squares. So in each case, 3 of the 4 of these 4 dark green digits in every one of these corner boxes is a 4, a 5 or a 6. So, can these be 4, 6? If they were 4, 6, these would be 2, 3. 4, 6, 2, 3. These would be 1, 5, 7. Maybe that's possible then. I don't know then. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. These 2, they are giving rise to adjacent digits on a green dot. So whatever they are, 5 can never go in those. Because if you put 5 in either of these, the digit that would be transplanted across the consecutive dot would be a 4 or a 6 onto the green ring, which we can't do. So if for these digits to be from 4, 5 or 6, they'd have to be 4 or 6. So they give rise to a 3 or a 7. So they okay. So they can't both be 4, 6. Because if these were both 4, they can't be 5 for the reasons we've just said. So let's say they were a 4, 6 pair. What would that give rise to across their white dots? It would have to be 3 and 7. So neither could be a 5. And 3 and 7 are not 5 apart. They're only 4 apart. So one of these only can be... Yeah, only one of these white dots, only one of these cells on the white dots can be a 4, 5 or a 6, which means these digits are 4, 5 or 6, because we know there are 3 such digits in every set of green 4 cells. And one of these is a 5, because you can never put 5 on that in either of those cells. No, so if that was a 5, that would be a 5. Yeah, and we're going to get windmilling, aren't we? In the sense that we've seen this before. Imagine this was a 5. Then in this box, the 5 would be in this domino, and they sort of windmill round the grid into a domino in each case. So if that was a 5, that would be a 5. Definitely, by force of nature. And if that was a 5, that would be a 5 by force of nature. Or force of geometry. By force of Phistomefel. Okay. So hang on. So I know one of these is 4 or 6. So I know one of these is 3 or 7. Oh, nearly. Oh, okay. I know how this is going to work then. So I've just had a thought. Because one of these is 4 or 6, and neither of these can be 5, whichever one of these is 4 or 6 is going to either have a 3 or a 7 internal to it on the ring. Now, if it's a 3, we know 3 goes next to 8 and 9, don't we? So we'd have 3, 8, 9, 3, 8, 9, but then where do you put 3, 8, and 9 in row 3? It's going to be in those 3 cells, so that'll be an 8, 9 pair, and that'll be a 3. And the alternative is that this is 7, 1, 2, and some other high digit. Yeah, all right. Okay, that's given me a different idea. Okay, I mean, this is a slightly mad pencil mark, but that digit is a 1, 2, or a 3. I think. Oh, it's not a 3, actually. It's a 1 or a 2. It's not a 3 by Sudoku. I mean, you know, I don't know what anyone would think. I would do Sudoku in their Sudoku puzzles, but let me explain how I knew this was a 1, 2, or a 3. I was thinking about it up here, but then I realised it was effective for these 3. Those 4 digits there. What is the composition of them? I know there are 2 high digits and 2 low digits. So is it possible that there is nothing in common between the high digits in this box and the high digits in this box? Well, no, it's not possible, because there are only 3 such high digits available. So either there is a complete mapping, and this one contains 8 and 9, or one of these is a 7 and the other is an 8 or a 9 and repeats in this box. So there is always at least one overlap for the highs, and by symmetry, the logic is the same, obviously, for 1s, 2s, and 3s. There must be an overlap. There's either complete overlap, i.e. the low digits here are the same as the low digits here, or there could be only one overlap. But there must be an overlap. And then the question is, where does the overlapping high and the overlapping low, and there's at least one, go in this column? Because they can't go in these cells now, because they overlap. They're in yellow there and they're in yellow there. So they must go in those 3 cells, which means there must be an overlapping low digit from there and there in one of those 3 cells, which I'm going to say is that one. And that can't be a 3 because of Sudoku. So, right. So now what I'm going to say is something different. I'm now going to say this doesn't have 3 in it at all. Because if it did have 3 in it, in fact, I'm actually going to go further. So maybe it's not. Okay, what I'm going to say now is I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going to say, where's 3 in box 7? It can't go in any of those cells, actually. Maybe that was the point I was meant to figure out. But it can't even go in the green. Because if it goes, because 3 in this column, oh yeah, that's the way to think about it. Where's 3 in the column? It's one of those 3 cells. That's much more straightforward. So we know that this has got 1 and 2 on it, definitely. So this can't be a 1 or a... Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's gorgeous. This can't be a 1 or a 2, because what would this digit be? It would have to be either 1 or 2 or 3. Well, it can't be 3 for the reasons we've explained, and it can't be 1 or 2 if 1 and 2 both live on the green squarey thingy. So this digit is not capable of being low at all, which means that the 1s, we actually get them. They go there, These are 7, 8, 9 then. Yeah, but we could have an 8, 9 overlap if that was 8, 9. So what do we do with that, do you think? What's that digit? That's consecutive with this digit, so it's 6, 7, 8, or 9. I think it can be 6. Okay, what you can't do actually is put 9 on this white dot, because that will break the corner. If this was a 9, 8 pair, which would happen if either of these cells was 9, it would break that corner digit. So we can remove 9. Now there must be a 7 on there, look, on this domino, because any consecutive pair of digits will include an odd digit and an even digit, and the only odd digit available now is 7, so this isn't 7. Okay, this black dot can't have can't be a 1, 2 pair, because that's going to break row 9, column 1. So we can take 1 out of both of those. So this is 2. How can this be 2 now? No, that can't be 2. The reason that had a pencil mark 2 in it was for the occasion when this is a 1, not for the occasion when this is 2 or 3, which is all it seems to be able to be. So this is either a 2 and a 4, or a 3 and a 6. And presumably I might be able to know something in terms of how to do that. I know one of those is high and one of those is low at least. Does this have to be high then? Yeah, there must be an overlapping high between these yellow squares, mustn't they? And that must go there. So that's 7, 8, or 9. Now, what does this mean? I don't know. It probably means something. I don't know what it is. Can this be 3, 8, 9? That seems to be very constraining, doesn't it? Because if the 3 in box 3 was on the whisper, this would be a 3, 8, 9. That's a 3, 8, 9. These would be a 3, 8, 9. This would be an 8, 9 pair. This would be a 7. That would be a 7. That would be a 7. Oh, that might actually be... Yeah, maybe that's correct then. So maybe let's try it a different way. If that wasn't 3, 8, 9, it would have 1 and 2 in the yellow cells. Oh, I don't know. I don't actually know how to figure this out. Am I being a bit dumb here? There's a chorus of people in my future saying, yes, Muppet, condemned to be a Muppet forever. This can't be a 1, 2 black dot because of that one. No, in fact, that top cell sees quite a lot of digits. It doesn't see millions, but it does see quite a few because it sees all of that 7, 8, 9 triple. So this can't be an 8. So this digit it's either from the 3, 6 pair or it's a 4, which means this is either 3, 6, or if this is a 4, this is either 2 or 8. But this is a 3, so we can get rid of 3 from there, which means we can get rid of 6 from here. So that's quite exciting. Now, how do we use that? A reasonable question. If this was 8, this would be 8. This would be a 7-9 pair, which I think makes this a 7. Oh golly, I don't know actually. I'm not sure. Two. Wow, I don't know. This is tricky. Is there some way I'm meant to know more than I apparently do about this? Do I know somehow that this is 6, 7? That would make this, that's 6, 7. This would be 4, 2. That would be 1 or 6. Can't, there might be a problem with that, but hang on, if that's 6, 7, this is 2, 4. This would be a 2. So that would be a high dominoed black dot. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to have to think. I think I better think it out again. Oh dear. Or maybe that can't be 7, 8. If that was 7, 8, that would be a 9. That would be a 9. One of those would be a 9. Oh, if that was 7, 8, this would be, that would, hang on. If that's 7, 8, that would, I'd have 8 here and 9 here. So this would be 8, 9. This would be 7, which might matter. It's actually really difficult, for this to be a 3. This is something I hadn't thought about at all. But if this was a 3, if this is a 3, let me just put in the problem. It's not a terminal problem, but it's something I'm noticing. If this is a 3, remember that this 3 is meant to appear in one of these cells in box 5. Well, where would that 3 appear? It would have to be here, wouldn't it? So this would be a 1, 2 pair. Now, so this would be a high digit, being the common digit between here and here. So it would be an 8 or a 9. So if this is 3, you can do all sorts of things. If this is 3, this is 3, this is a 1, 2 pair, that would be a 1, 2 pair. And yeah, what do we know about this box? We don't really know anything because we don't know whether it's 4 or 6 that is on these white dots. Okay, so I don't know whether this is 3 or not, but I do know that if it is a 3, it's super, super powerful. Right, so how does that help me in any way at all? Not sure. Really am not sure. It can't be this white dot, can it? I mean, it just can't. I mean, there are some things that are ruled out. For example, this white dot can't be a 1, 2 pair or an 8, 9 pair, but I think anything else goes. Probably. Is it something to do with 4s, 5s, and 6s going into these greens all over? Actually, it's interesting to note that if the 3's here, it's very forcing. But if the 3 is in one of those two cells, because we know that the greens have to contain 4, 5 and 6 in all the corner boxes, if one of those is a 3, that would be a 6. And this would be a 4 or a 5. And this would be from 3, 4, 5. Which would put, I mean, the most tiny pressure on the white dot, but I don't think it's enough to be terribly interesting. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to figure out where exactly I'm meant to devote my attention, or is it something? No, it can't be that. Two, 4, 2. Oh, okay. I can get rid of 2 from this one, I think. Cool. Actually, that's quite nice. If that's a 2, this cell at the top of this cell here at the top of column 2 can't be anything. Because if this is a 2, we know this will be a 1. So we've got 1 and 2 looking at this. So we want this to be a 3 now. But if this is a 2, this is a 2, isn't it? Must be a 2 in one of those 2 cells. So that's a 2, which makes this a 3. So this cell has 3 looking at it from here, and a 2 and a 1 looking at it. So that is not a 2. Which, well, that might matter. Is there some reason this can't be 3, 6? If this is 3, 6... Oh, if that's 3, 6, that is 3, isn't it? And that's 6. So 3 and 6 would be in those cells. That would be a 7, 8 pair. 3, 6. Oh, I don't know. If on the other hand this is 4, 8, then we know 4 in this box would have to be in that domino, don't we? Hang on. Oh, that felt wrong. That felt wrong in my brain. My brain didn't like that. That might be a good thing. If this is 4, 8... If this is 4, 8... No, maybe it's okay. If this is 4, 8, what I'm noticing is remember one of the green digits down here has to be 4. So that's going to have to be in this domino, which means if this is a 4, this becomes a 4, and this becomes a 2. And so far, that might not be broken. Maybe. And then this would have to be... This would be 8. So this would be 8. No, this doesn't work. Hang on. I think I'm going crazy. I'm sorry. I think I'm going crazy. If we put 8 here... Oh, no, I'm just wrong, aren't I? No, am I not wrong? Yeah, no, I think it's okay. This becomes 8, 4. So this becomes 9. Which means this becomes 9. Oh, hang on. No, I've got 2. What's going on? Oh, no, this... Oh, no. Okay. Here is the reason that this is not an 8. because that's an 8-9 pair in the column. That's been available for ages. I just didn't see it. Well, that's great news, though, because now this has got to be a 6, and that's got to be a 3. Right, that's good. So that means this is a 3, because we knew one of these was a 3. So this is now the 3, 6 black dot that we knew existed in this box. We just didn't know where it went. Now, that does knock 6 out of that cell. So this is now a 7, 8 pair, which gives me an 8 and a 9 here, which gives me the 9 here, learning from my previous error. Oh, I tell you what we can do now with 6s, which might be worth thinking about. Oh, in fact, hang on. I'm just going to change tack very slightly because I know there's an 8 in this domino. I don't know where it goes. So 8 and 9 in this column are those two cells in column 3, which means this digit by Renban logic is a 7. Now, does that do something? I'm not sure. But it was... Okay, and we know 6 isn't here. So here we can windmill the 6s. Because now we know 6 is in this domino. It must be in this domino. It must be in this domino. And it must be in this domino. Yeah, which is fine, but it's not enough, is it? Okay. That's a shame. Ooh, I've just had a beautiful thought. Yeah, I like this thought. This can't have 3 in it now. That's huge. That's it. That's it. That's absolutely lovely. Right. If this has 3 in it, what are these digits? They're 3, 8, 9 in the row, because we've got... Where would you put 3, 8, and 9 in the row? They have to be here. But that means this is an 8, 9 pair, and that is a 7, which is going to break in the middle box. So that's not got 3, 8, 9 on it. So where's 3 in box 3? It's there. Which I hope will do well, it must do something here. Yeah, that must be a 2. Which means this is a 1. So these are the 7, 8, 9. This isn't 8, this isn't 9. This is an odd digit. So this is an even digit that is 6 or 8, and it's not 8. So that's the 6, that's the 7, that's the 8. Which means this isn't 7, look. 7 is in one of those two. Oh no, 7 can go on the tip here, can't it? Because 7 absolutely can be the anti-quincunx cells in box 5. Oh well, never mind, that's still good, that's still better than we were doing. And now I've got a 4, 5 pair in box 3, and that digit is a 9. 9's okay. So 9 now is either there or there. I don't know which one, but, well, this would be more useful. Oh, it's not there. If this was 9, this would be a 7, 8 pair. And 7 in this box would be looking at it, so we can place the 9. It's got to be in that one. Which, okay, so this isn't 9 anymore. We can take, this is a 2, this is a 4. That's just Sudoku. Sudoku is being friendly to us for once. These digits here are 1, 5, and 7. Let's actually just pencil mark it and see what we can get rid of. We can get rid of 7 from here. We can get rid of nothing from there. We can't have 5 here because we know that 5 is not an available digit into those 3 cells. Oh, this Renban hasn't got 9 on it now at all. So it must be a 1, 2, 3 Renban. And we can get the 3 here. Maybe that was an easy way of doing all this. So that's a 7, that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 2. And this digit has to appear either there or there. And it can't appear here, can it? Because we've already got 1, 2 in the yellow there. So that digit's there. That gives me a 1, 2 pair in this column. So the digits we're missing are 4, 7, and 8 into these cells. So if that's 4, 7, and 8, one of those digits is 7 or 8, which means that given we have to put 4, 5, and 6 in here, oh, we could have got this. Yeah, I could have. It's 5 6s. They're going to windmill round. Oh, that's good here. That's really good here because one of these was a 3, remember? So that's now exactly equal to this digit, oh, which maybe I could have done a different way. Just didn't see it. Now, this digit's a 4. And in this column, oh, look, we've got a 2 up there. So Sudoku, I could probably have been a bit more diligent about that. Who would have thought it? And these digits are 1, 4, 5. And that isn't a 1. And that digit's very available. It's got to be a high. It's got to be an 8. Using some of the principles we've learned, as well as Sudoku in that row. That wasn't how I did that, by the way. Now, okay. So what do we do next? I don't know. Still, oh, 3, look. 3 is on, oh, well, this isn't it. This is very easy. Well, not very easy, but there's a point here, isn't there? Because if we look at this box, you can see 3 seems to have to be on the square. Once 3 is on the square, 8 and 9 are on the square. But there's a 3, 8 pair here, so this has to be 3, 8, and this has to be 9 and a low digit, which can't be 2, so it's got to be 1. And we can do the order. 1, 9. So opposite that, we're going to have 8, 3. And presumably, that will do something. This is 4, 5, or 6. Apparently, all of those options are available. The only one knocked off it was this being a 7 with a 6 here. These are not 8 anymore, so this is an 8. So, that does my 8 and 9. 9 in row 5 can be placed. So what do we need? We need 4, 5, 6. We shouldn't be surprised about that. Oh, that's not very good. So where's... no, a 7. 7 can be placed in box 6. 1 has to be here by Sudoku. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 2, using the fact it has to appear in one of the points of the Renban. In this column, this digit's a 4, 5, or a 6. One of these is a 2. I don't think I know which one. 2, 4, 5, 6. They're not 4. That's okay. That is the only position 2 can go. So 2 was available. One of these, no, one of those is a 4, but we don't care. All right, let's try and do some Sudoku in the top rows then. So 3, 6, 7. How long have I been going? Just over an hour. I mean, yeah, I think this is another example of grade inflation in the world of Sudoku. I haven't found this very easy. It's got a lot, I think it's got some quite deep ideas in it. And it's a very interesting setup. And I can absolutely see why Fool on Hill thinks there's been mileage in these strange shapes he keeps constructing across the middle boxes and then sort of playing with the geometry that results from them. Oh, that 2 gives me a 2 and a 1 there. So one of these, so I can get 2 down here. One of these is a 1. So this is a 1. That's on the Phistomefel Ring. So in this row, what do we need? It's 7, 8, 9. I don't believe it. Apparently that's not resolved. That one is a naked single, though. It sees 7 and 8. So that's not a 9. So this is a 9 now. How many 9s have we got in the grid? All of them. Okay, well that's something. I don't think we really care, do we? We know we've got to put 1, 4, 5, 6. and 8. So we can actually put the 8 in the middle box. Oh, well, no, let me put that differently. We can put 8 on the central crossing Renban, and that might have been available forever, but I didn't see it. So that's 7 now. So that's 7, that's 8. So that's 7, and that's 4. Okay. So in this row, what do we need? 5, 6, and 8. So again, we can get the 8. So I probably need to look at 8s more carefully, although I've done them all now. Bother. This is a 5 or a 6. So this column, what do we need? That's not 7 at the top. This isn't a 1. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. It's ridiculous, isn't it? That seems to have all its options available. This can't be a 3. So is it really 4, 5, 6? It is, isn't it? This is 4, 5, or 6. Ah, okay. Oh, I see. So I could have asked, apparently, where 3 goes in the bottom row. It can't go here because of the white dot. It's the only reason it can't go there. So that's 3, that's 6, that's 7, that's 3. That's 5 now, that's 4. Okay, that's good. Or maybe not brilliant, but it's certainly getting rid of some things. And hopefully, it's all now clear what we have to do. I'm sure it is clear. That 6 is doing. Oh, that 6 is powerful. I didn't see that. 5, 6, 4. 6. This is 5 now. Okay, we might be getting there. It does seem to finally be relaxing its grip upon us. This is 1. This is 5. 5, 4. 4 probably. So this is a 6. That's a 5. That's a 6. 4, 5. Is that right? No, it's definitely not right because I've got 2 5s there and 2 5s there. So something has gone terribly badly amiss. So I put 5 in there, and then I put 5 at the top of the grid, then I put 4 there, then I put 4 there, 6 there, 5 there, 6 there. And I think it was just that last digit. That should have been a 1. Let's see. Oh, okay, well, we're in very good shape then. Yay! Brilliant. Oh, come back. Come back. All is forgiven. I would like to like you. Brilliant puzzle. Absolutely brilliant puzzle. Very interesting. It's had a lot of solves as well. I'm not surprised. Fool on Hill is a very, very clever person indeed. And yeah, for a while there, I was worried that he got the better of me with that one. I couldn't really see. I could see loads of things, but not how to put them together. And in the end, it was actually the dots, I think. You had to really think quite hard about how the dots worked and how they interacted with all of the various restrictions we'd uncovered in the yellows and the greens, etc. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And if you are still here now and you aren't subscribed to the channel, we'd be very grateful if you could subscribe. Try and teach the YouTube algorithm that these puzzles are worth wider dissemination, because they actually are. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.